Hello! Perfidious Pete here, back to trod the path of least resistance down in the lugubrious lagoons of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. And last episode, in their wisdom, the great and evil Empyrean lords of the dungeon decided that they should hand unto me a golden gift. A little piece of mana from heaven, because I guess I was feeling a little discouraged and down in the dumps, and they wanted me to be propped up before they inevitably crushed me beneath the soles of their Empyrean boots. So they gave me a brand spanking new team to take into low dungeons by granting us Dorrance, aka Bane, and Tareen Olsen, aka Thor Girl, who have now joined the ranks, along with Mary McCabe, aka Vixen, and Rachel Summers, who I think needs no introduction. Yet another shard of the stupid Phoenix Force. Goddamn Jean Grey. Anyway, they gave us this new team, and I mean, what can I do with such a golden gift? It's a perfect crew of fresh, sparkling new faces for me to grind into the misery and mire until they wind up looking as grizzled and ragged as Nick Nolte after a 6-week bender. It's really just too perfect. And to be specific, I'm talking about the team, not Nick Nolte. I think we can all agree that perfection, if it has a true opposite, not just imperfection, which is simply a lack of perfection, I'm talking about a true antithesis, a state of being flawed in every conceivable manner, like perfectly broken. I think we can all agree that Nick Nolte may be on the cutting edge of achieving that state. And if I hope to drive these 4 new fresh faces into the ruinous ruin of Nick Nolte and beat him to the finish line, I'm gonna have to get started, because let's face it, Nick Nolte's got like a 4 decades long head start on me. I got my work cut out for me. Let's head down to the old dungeon and see what is on order. Literally one thing. Well, I guess we're going to the cove then. Pretty much. Alright, well, what do we gotta do? A short apprentice mission to complete 100% of ruin battles. Well, this is gonna level nobody. We do have an experience bonus in the ruins, but for this team, I'm not really sure they're cut out for the ruins. Also, we do need to double check their skills, I realized before I go. Just wandering pell-mell down into the dungeon. See, for instance, Disorienting Blast is shit, and Incision probably should go. Yeah, we got a little training to do, so let's get Vixen sorted out here. Noxious Blast is an absolute must-have, as is Battlefield Medicine. That's taken care of then. Bane, we should put you in and see what skills you have, my mercenary madman. Alright, so, yeah, we do want Chop, but we also want Hue, our most important ability. And Intimidate, I think we could probably do without paying for. Probably good there. Rachel Summers, you definitely need the group heal. And you definitely need Dazzling Light. Those are basically the only skills I ever use. And now you have every skill, so there's that. Pick to the Face is an absolute must-have. Other than that, though, Tareen Olsen... Well, nope, never mind. Jeez, we're gonna need Thrown Dagger, too. Now, Pete, do the smart thing. Some of you are saying, Pete, please, equip your skills before you go in. Okay, I'm gonna do it, just to make you happy. We're checking off the boxes on a checklist here. We're gonna make sure everybody has their correct skills before we go anywhere near the old dungeon. Don't worry, we got it covered. We're gonna get rid of Revenge. Pick up Hue. Solemnity, yes, please, thank you. Rachel Summers, let's get you sorted out. I don't think we really need you having Mace Bash. That skill is straight up garbage. Although, you know, I say it's straight up garbage. That's not technically true. There are some pretty valid builds that you can pull off with like a frontline Vestal. In fact, Vestal's maybe one of the few classes where you can do a full 4-man party without suffering crippling drawbacks. Hey, these guys come with a 4th camping skill too. Really? When you buy level... Ooh, okay. I'm a fan. When you buy level 4 troopers, they come with that 4th camping skill. Sweet. That's gonna save us some ducats, which is good, because we're basically right back where we started after last episode when we hauled Buffy Summers down through a dungeon specifically for the purpose of getting ducats. But we also have level 3 weapons and armor, which means we good. No additional cash need be spent. And this team, these are called the Strays. Clearly, I know I've seen that name before, so I've run this team before. I must really like it. Let's get some trinkets going. See, chat, I am capable of experiential learning. I'm ticking off all of the boxes here on the old box tick checklist. I got my little checklist working out here, and I'm just rolling down the list, ticking things off. Provisions, skills, camping skills. It's like I'm almost semi-competent. Almost. I mean, we all know that competence is something that will forever escape me. What do we want to go with here? Because I would like to take the Ancestors map. Do we want to have Tareen? You know, yeah, I think we could get away with it. Let's have Tareen Olsen take the Ancestors map. And then just something to buff her damage. Just a teensy-weensy little bit. Or we could just pile on a whole bunch of dodge. Don't hate that plan. Although her dodge is pretty good to start with. Do we have something that's both maybe like damage and dodge? We could give... She's already sporting some plus stress stuff since we're making her tote that map. It seems like doubling up on that is not necessarily the greatest idea in the world. We could go... Oh, no, that gives a dodge penalty. Never mind. I was thinking about that, but no. Dodge penalties we want to definitely avoid. Bonus crit, bonus dodge. The Solar Bracer is not a terrible trinket. It's not terribly useful in this particular capacity, but it's also not terrible. Is there really... Do we not have any Gravedigger only trinkets? That seems sort of impossible, but it's got to be the case. Big penalty to crit on those, of which I was unaware. All right, I'm taking too long. It's just... Normally we go with something that's plus damage for you. We give you plus damage. It wasn't the Berserk Charm. What was it we were rolling with on you? Was it... No, it wasn't the Sniper's Ring. Was it the Sun Ring? It must have been the Sun Ring. Bonus damage, bonus accuracy. That's plus 20% stress. I'm gonna do it. I just... sometimes you gotta be done. Sometimes you just be like, no, I'm overthinking. I just gotta be done here. Sometimes you just gotta... Even if you're making the wrong decision, sometimes you just gotta move forward. So we're definitely gonna go for the Brawler's Gloves for our Leper. And where's that green Leper trinket that we love? Bonus accuracy, bonus crit, bonus stress damage. That's not normally... Is that what I usually give you, really? Well, the accuracy and crit is nice. Yeah, we'll try that out. The only Leper-only item we have, I think, is kind of shitty, and I don't normally use it. Sacred Scroll for our Vestal. Nothing fancy there. And where's our Book of Healing? There it is. Tome of Holy Healing. We don't deviate for when it comes to our Vestals. Our Vestals are pretty well fixed strategies. They're a fixture of this team. You know, like a light socket or like a faucet or a tap. A fixture. One key. We're not going to the ruins. I'm going to skip the whole... You know, holy water actually does have uses in the cove. Let's take one thing of holy water. Let's do enough food for... Let's say one full... Let's take... Yeah, it's fine. 16 food. Just take all the food, Pete. Don't buck the odds. And then we'll do our patented 14 torches. We done. Let's get in the dungeon. Get it done. And get everything done. Done is the operative word of the day, just like this team of troopers is inevitably probably done as Nick Nolte. Feel a little bad for Nick Nolte. I think I was almost Han Solo once. Almost. I know I make that joke all the time, but I'm telling you, Nick Nolte is Han Solo in a vastly different Han Solo. Just like a boozy, drunken, angry, irascible old scud wandering around in the Millennium Falcon. God damn it, Chewbacca. Would have been an entirely different Han Solo.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
Yeah, I'll take your trinkets and baubles. I'll take your stashed heirlooms as well. Heirlooms are sort of what we're in the market for, more so than anything else at this point. Are we above 75 light? Just above, and we did get the surprise. You know, I hate to say this because it sounds discourteous to our foes, but these punks are gonna get worked the fuck over. Y'all gonna be walking out of this dungeon with a serious hurting put on you by the boys and girls here, because this team, they're just too much for you. Look at this. You guys never even got to go. Wiggity wiped. Ah, you got riggedy wrecked by the miggity Mac. The Mac dad'll make you die. The daddy Mac will make you cry. Actually, they'll both make you jump. Well, not both of them anymore, because, you know, one of those guys is dead. Ah, Pete, did you really have to go there, man? Did you have to bring up the fact that one of the bands that I was not really a fan of, but had heard of in my childhood, one of my memories, did you really have to shit on that by reminding me that one of the two kids from Criss Cross is dead? Yes, I did have to go there. I'm sorry. I live to rain on your parade. This is my sole thing that gives me joy in this life. Raining on your parade and telling you things like, yeah, one of the Criss Cross kids is totally dead. The spearfishing man is the more dangerous man, so let's start bombing some damage on him. We also need to put our party back in order, although, really, having these two swamped, it's not really a huge problem. We're gonna start throwing a bunch of poison at that jerk-ass. Yeah, you can't block it when we hit you both, can you, jerk-ass? Oh, when your guard target has perished from poison. Well, why don't you just enjoy a nice healthy blast of blight and a nice healthy blast of lightning from Rachel Summers. Although I gotta say, Tareen Olsen, Rachel Summers is kind of stealing your thunder. See, it works on multiple levels because she's supposed to be like Thor. Okay, yeah. Actually, Thor Girl basically is just a female Thor. Although, didn't they, like, recently... I'm not as up on my comic book lore from recent because, I've got other things that I do now. Back in the day, Perfidious Pete was I read a lot of comic books. These days, little less so. Don't read quite as many comic books. But didn't they reboot Thor as like a female version of Thor? Didn't they just straight up do that? Isn't Thor just a regular girl now? Or am I thinking of somebody else? I could be thinking of somebody else. Contents are mine 4 Ds. We have room for them. Excellent. So we're going to complete 100% of room battles. I have to assume we're just going to be exploring this whole dungeon, which is fine. With the Ancestors map, Thor Girl should be fantastically gifted at disarming. You know what? Yes. This is stupid, and I'm going to do it anyway. Come get some, Shambler. You want to do this, Shambltowns? Oh, you really did it to us good. All right. Well, I was going to ask Shambly Shambleton if you wanted to do this, and clearly you want to do this. Can we blight you at all? Yes. You're, in fact, not resistant to blights whatsoever. Team Blight's going to fucking wreck your shit up. Wreck my shit up. Smack my bitch up. We didn't get a whole lot of work here. Very little got done. Obdurus advancement, which is a massive bleed. We can combat this. I still feel okay about this. I say we just keep stacking a whole shitload of blight on old Shambly Shambleton. He's taking 13 damage per round for 3 rounds. That's pretty significant. Here comes the old Clapper Claw. Thor Girl, you should have ducked. Come on, you gotta come at this dodgeball style. Dip, duck, dive, and dodge. You can no longer hit that man. Or can you? You thought you could escape the Blight train to Blight Town? I beg to differ. There is no escape. The train to Blight Town stops at all stations. That guy is really pretty dicked up from our Blight. It also moved him forward for us. We took a little bit of stress damage there, but that's okay. We killed one of his tiny little Clapper Claws, pushed him back to the front. Man, the Shambler's getting pooped on here. I don't foresee him. He may have fatal damage already. Do you have fatal damage? You're taking 36 damage from our blight attacks right now as we speak. I'm not even going to throw any more blight on you. You've got enough. I think the job is done. Instead, I think we... Well, now, you know what? Let's throw it... Oh, we can't throw it at that guy. I really wanted to do battlefield medicine here and try to get rid of some of these blights and bleeds, but we'll be okay, because we've got Rachel Summers here to keep us patched up and keep us in good fighting trim. 23 damage from the blight. The next time this man goes, he is straight up dead. We're not even going to be that badly stressed, and he did us a favor by shoving our party order around and putting us back in fighting trim. You know what? Just kill him. Oh yes, this is what happens when you come and mess with Bane in Bane's house. Can you feel it, Mr. Wayne? Can you feel the bones in your spine being shattered as you lie in a heap on the ground while your Clapperclaw watches in grief and pain? Admittedly, my Bane impression is not fantastic, but it's not the worst impression I do. I think we can all agree on that. There'll be no blood left for the leeches. Well, stop worrying about the leeches and start worrying about throwing knives in that thing's face. In the meantime, do I want to hack up a corpse? Not really. Let's just withstand. We'll get rid of some of that stress, give ourselves a little protection as well. Group heal won't hurt. Get it? Group heal won't hurt. It's a heal. Of course it doesn't hurt. It's a heal. And drop dead. Man, the Shambler. That may be our strongest performance against the Shambler today. We ruined him. Yeah, we absolutely, we mutilated him. We mauled him. We wrecked him like a drunken Lindsay Lohan on her, on a Ford Explorer on her way home from the bar at 6 a.m. And yes, Lindsay Lohan frequently comes back from the bar on 6 a.m. Ancestor's Candle. 15% damage in high torchlight plus 2 speed in high torchlight. The Ancestor's Candle literally has no drawbacks. Bonus dodge in high torchlight. It does give you extra stress damage, though. Still, damage, speed, and dodge. For stress, that's like way better. It's this without the accuracy, and with the, yes, swap those out. That's a fantastic trinket. Specifically, it's a fantastic trinket for grave diggers. Oh, okay. So this, I mean, started off good, and now it's better. It did extinguish our torchlight completely. We do want to fix that. I've had enough darkness. Let's not wander around in the inky black for no reason. We've probably bucked the odds enough for one mission by downing the Shambler. I don't think we really need to aggravate the situation by stretching it out and just getting greedy and stupid. No, let's not do that. Poor girl getting a little cheap stress relief. Everybody's still bleeding, which is unfortunate. Sack's contents are mine. I'll take your 100 gold. Thank you. Burn that torch. Pick up a new torch to replace it. Out with the old, in with the new kind of thing. Doing a little spring cleaning down here in the old dungeon. We're gonna get doomsayed. Alright, go ahead. Johnny shrieks a lot. Oh, we have first action. Can this do 14 damage? Not unless it crits. Well, might as well go for the double up then. We weren't gonna be able to kill that man in a single blow without a critical. We were always gonna get doomsayed. It's fine. We'll get him on the next go. And really, 9 stress damage is not that. It's not that egregious a problem. How much health have you got? 4. You've got Blight for 5. So yeah, he's dead. You don't spear fish for Rachel Summers, man. She is not that kind of fish. You might be able to call her a bird because I think she is. I mean, she hung out with Excalibur a lot, so she's got some vaguely British kind of things. You might be able to say, oh, she's one lovely bird. You might be able to get away with that, but I don't think you could call her a fish. In general, I think calling ladies fish is probably considered at best somewhat uncouth and at worst just woefully discourteous. I think there's some definite negative connotations there. Oh, stepping in front of that? Well, you stepped right in front of that and took it straight to the heart. Hope it was worth it. I'm just gonna hit you straight up with some blight damage. Critical blight just makes it last an extra 2 rounds. It doesn't actually do more damage. It just increases the duration. I'm not too sure how I feel about that mechanic, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. It does seem like having it do more blight damage would be overall better. Because you're not really going to take advantage of that extra duration, except in a the fight would have to be extraordinarily long for you to get much out of that. Also, both of these guys are dead, so I'm not going to go out of my way to swing at them anymore. I will, in this case, because criticals, and we might be able to see free stress relief. And then we're just going to get rid of this blight, or this bleed, rather. We'll have the Vixen toss a little heal, and then, I guess we just top off. Sometimes, you know, when you get down to a quarter of a tank, there's no reason to not stop and fill up if you've got the time and you're not doing anything else that day. Why not go ahead and just top up the old tank, get a little extra gasoline in there? What is a crescendo box? 2 speed, 15. Okay, I'll take it. It seems respectable. How badly do I want a portrait? Not that badly, really. Worse than I want any of this other stuff. Probably more than I want a bandage, though. And that's it. We could bail on this one right now, but I'm going to go ahead and choose to continue adventuring, if only to open up this clam, because I got a shovel. What's in the giant oyster?
Wealth beyond measure.
Definitely worth opening. So let's get rid of, well, let's drink that and take the extra 925 gold. How much dungeon could we dungeon if a dungeonist could... how much dungeon could a dungeonist crab dungeon if a dungeonist crab could dungeon crab? I don't know, but I think I'm going to press my luck here. Let's go see what else this dungeon has in store. I just really like this team. We're kicking ass. We're taking names. There's nothing to fear here. We've got this shit on farm. Look at that, 20 damage from Tareen Olsen, and 2 of those guys are almost immediately dead. We can straight up get the kill on 1 if we want to, and we want to. And we didn't even surprise these guys. These guys just like wandered into a blender, really. It's like somebody didn't put the proper guard on it and they left the blender running and these guys were playing in the kitchen and then they dropped a spoon down into it and they're like, oh, well, you know, what's going on here? Oh, and then they jammed their hand down in there to fetch the spoon and just got it ground into a meaty, chunky paste. And they're like, oh, God, why would you do that? I'd be like, well, I never really thought anybody would be stupid enough to just shove their hand into a running blender, but I guess I was wrong, wasn't I? Anything we can do to get gold? You know, you're saying, Pete, anything you can do to get gold? You know, be out there turning tricks in the street corners of the hamlet. If that's what it takes, yes, then anything for gold. If I gotta send Thor Girl out in some fishnets and high heels to turn a few tricks on the corner, I will do it. If I gotta put Bane out, start having Bane turn... Oh, you best cleanse yourself. Oh. Yeah, maybe next time don't cleanse yourself in contaminated water, Bane, and you won't get the red plague. 75% bleed. It's not that. The minus 5% critical is actually horrible. But we'll cure it. It's fine. It's just a disease. Shouldn't even be that expensive. We have an ample supply of food. No need to fear the hunger prompts. We don't fear the Reaper. We don't fear the hunger. Like the hunger I have for putting Bane out on the corner to turn tricks at 17 bucks a pop. Be like, really, Pete? 17 bucks? It seems like a pretty good deal for a chance encounter with Bane. Bane's got a lot of love to share. Hero receives a nasty gash. Oh, Tareen Olsen has gotten a yeast in. I'm sorry, Tareen Olsen. Plenty of hygiene products that'll just take care of that right away. You don't have to worry about it. It's nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed about. Happens to everybody. It's a perfectly natural biological function. Sometimes microbes get down in your creases and folds, and they breed, multiply, and propagate. And gotta take steps to counter that. That's why we have antibiotics. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly healthy, perfectly natural. Well, it's not perfectly healthy, but it's perfectly natural.
Wholesome marine life can flourish, if indeed there is such a thing.
As wholesome marine life? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's wholesome marine life, Mr. Narrator. I mean, that's objectively a thing that exists. What do you have against the haddock? What did it ever do to you? What's unwholesome about haddock? Fish and chips are delightful. It's a nice white fish. It's relatively affordable. What's not to like about haddock? Doran's got plus 3% crit to melee skills. That's fantastic. Yes, Bane knows just where to hit a man to make it hurt as much as possible. Slow reflexes for Mary McCabe, which is not a big deal. We're going to get rid of that tetanus, though. Or are we? Because Mary McCabe could fix that herself. Do we spend money on it, or we just go for a camping mission? We may just go on a medium mission and try and camp away our troubles.
And laughter could be heard from the tavern.
I'm thinking we just camp away the troubles. Let's not even bother. The troubles. We'll make it like on, Northern Ireland in the late 90s. The red plague has got to go. But since we're getting rid of diseases, and we're at 650 gold. And granted, you know what? Yes, do it. We're doing one, which means we can't take these guys out next week on a mission anyway, so we might as well, if we're doing one, we might as well do two. It's like going in to have 2 tires rotated. If you're going to go in and have your tires rotated, just have them do all 4. It's fine. Rotating 2 tires is not useful. Nothing we won on the stagecoach then. We had no level 2 troopers. We do still have 1 empty roster slot, but I think that's a pretty solid victory. And I gotta say, the Strays, man, they're really coming through. That may be my new favorite team. Those guys are powerful punchers. They do massive damage. We crapped all over the Shambler. I mean, that was ugly. Homeboys, I mean, we Fugugu gods them. Yeah, I see you, Shambler, over there. Trying to jack me. Trying to play like you know me. Just making yourself look horrendous. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot. And if you'd like to hear more oblique references to Homestar Runner, something that's actually funny, unlike myself, might consider subscribing as well, because I make reference to Homestar and the gang with fairly regular frequency. Right now, thanks very much for watching. Go check out Homestar Runner and maybe throw a little cash at the Brothers Chaps way. Buy some merch. They still sell it. It's still great. I'll see you again soon.